I'm going to show you exactly how to dominate turn 1 with Norsca as Wulfrik. So Norsca raises settlements and builds monoliths in their place to gain allegiance to the four gods, bestowing potent gifts. Use the monstrous arcanum to hunt down beasts while strengthening the tribe by assimilating other conquered Norskins once defeated. Norsca is a faction of aggressive infantry, flexible monstrous infantry, and colossal line-breaking mammoths. So these are the guys that you are going to focus on as Wulfrik because he buffs mammoths. Though lightly armored and vulnerable to missile fire, Norsca has the tools to breach enemy lines and or envelop the foe. The frenzied warriors of Norsca also have the Rage ability, meaning the longer they fight in melee, the greater bonuses they receive. Alright, so let's jump on in, and we're going to be playing this on normal difficulty with Immortal Empires. Wulfrik starts with Marauder champions that are armored and shielded, dual axe infantry, great weapons, Marauder horsemen, and the mammoths, which are anti-infantry and have crazy weapon strength. They're also charge bonus, so they're great to jump into the battle. Has access to Seafang, which is instantly to travel vast distances between ports, so when it's at sea near a port, you can instantly travel to another visible port settlement using the Seafang travel button. His armies might also attack coastal settlements directly from the sea, avoiding the need to first make the landfall. Other World Walker fleets within his zone can accompany him for Seafang travel when they are selected in the dedicated panel. So, he has income from raiding plus 50% for all armies, upkeep minus 15% for marauders, charge bonus plus 15 for marauder and marauder chariots, and cavalry. The Lord effects are enabled sea-based attacks on port settlements for the Lord's army, have campaign movement range plus 15%, attribute causes fear in the Lord's army, immune to high seas, reef, and storm attrition for all armies, and the ability Seafang, which is an active wind ability, which is good for little groups of enemies during the battle. So, Wulfrik starts right down here now, so this is a new starting position. He's down right below Ulthuan, and he still has his region up here on the tip of this piece of land. So let's get started. Okay, let's get started. So, we already talked about he starts down here near Ulthuan. You can use his enchanted longship Seafang to instantly travel. You can raise altars in the place of conquered settlements and pledge allegiance to the gods, which as you can see up here, there's each one, the hound, the crow, and the serpent. And there's also the pillaging and the spoils. The spoils give you basically increased ability to build settlements. Alright, so let's take a look. This is our first mission, as it wants us to come over here and take this out. Now, what we can do is we can take a look at this hero here, which is the new Shaman Sorcerer, and we're going to place it right into our army. This is going to increase the army's chance of finding a magic item after a battle by 10%. And then what we want to do is we can take them into battle. And we also want to grab this. So let's do that. Bam. We're going to perform better in battle or better on the campaign. So you might get more movement range. You might get improved ability to take people out. So let's go ahead and do the power of rage. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take out this guy. Now, with this we have Wulfrik. He is a armored, shielded melee expert and duelist, so you're going to want to take him in one-on-one versus the other lords and heroes. He has great armor, leadership, and great weapon strength, as well as melee attack. So he's going to be easily hitting the other lords. We also have our spellcaster, which has these new abilities. So right now you can use Searing Doom, which is a bombardment. And this guy over here has basically some shielded, spear infantry, sword infantry, and missile. So if you're going to take this, you're going to take out the missile infantry with your war mammoth and missile cavalry and just dive in to the Lord with Wulfrik. Alright, let's go ahead and resolve that.
Taking heed.
And we get the common Ruby Ring of Ruin. What we can do is get experience, replenishment, or treasury. So let's go ahead and grab that replenishment. From here, Wulfrik can come in and take out the Monument of the Moon. Now, you can also do things like this, which is have the full speed, which increases your campaign movement range plus 50%, but it gives you a tired vigor in battle, which makes all your troops move slower, and it's kind of like a debuff. We also have battle initiation, which goes to disabled. Now, when we did the mission here, we got some gold, and it looks like we also need to assign some skill points. So what we're going to do is, for usually any type of seafaring faction, you want to get the campaign movement range. But you could also get this vigor reduction for the Lord's army, which would be good because your army is not going to get as tired in battle. Okay? So we're going to go for the campaign movement range. And with this, you have to upgrade the Searing Doom to go ahead and go into the rest of your spells. You can also increase your magical item drop chance, but we're going to go for this first, and then we are going to take Wulfrik and go right for this. It says decisive victory, so we can take the port. Here, and you can ally to any of these gods, and it allows you to track it up in the top. So let's go ahead and do that. So Kilgore Slayman, Azric the Maze Keeper, Kilhar Tormentor, or Merc Spew Spit. So I always like corn characters, we're gonna go there.
You have chosen to pledge allegiance. The gods will be
Alright, so let's take a look.
Their favor
We
toward
can
you grows.
keep the Troll Fjord, retain a foothold in Norsca, which increases our income from post-battle loot by 100%, and growth by plus 50. Or you can get treasury 10,000, give up the Troll Fjord, and focus raiding down here in the new lands. And you also get plus 500 spoils. Well, I'm always the type of guy that we always keep. But if you're just trying to raid down in this area, you're going to want to leave Norsca. We're going to keep the Troll Fjord. Oh, nice. We got a rare item, the Book of Assure. Targeting range plus 25. Winds of Magic, which is how much you can store for your spells. So we're going to go to this guy.
I am the Wanderer.
And we want to make sure that we place the right items.
Fear me.
So I want to put the Book of Assure on them, because it's a magical item. Arcane item, we're going to get those skills up. Now the Plague of Rust is great. It decreases armor. This one increases armor. And this one's a pretty good damage spell, which is the Golden Hounds. Now it's going to be better for against multiple units, so we're going to grab that.
I'm listening.
We'll upgrade Wulfrik Now, he does have this line, which increases spoils and pillaging, and then also the recruitment cost decrease, increased casualty replenishment rate, which is pretty sweet, and gives growth if you have a character that sits at home, which we will not be. So, in that case, I think what we're going to go with is this. We're going to grab our army some experience, so that way we can have a more powerful army in the next couple turns. Now, you can see that tribesmen can basically raid, which instill fear and chaos. You can get different things like spoils or control. So this gives us casualty replenishment rate for the enemies that goes down. This here gives us treasury, and that's control, and this one is going to reduce recruitment costs and improve growth. But this depends on what you basically give your altar to. So ours is going to be the Hound, so we do want recruitment cost, or we could do these others. So we're going to go for the treasury, so we can get increased movement range next turn. You see that? That'll help. Okay. And then we're going to go right down here. You can get either defense, or we can put in income increase for armies around this area. We can have the ability to recruit skin wolves, which they just did an update in patch 7.1, which reduces recruitment cost. And then we can also do cabinet movement range here. So that would be pretty sick, right? Next turn, you know, extra 25% movement range.
The eternal challenge.
We can also recruit a lord. Now you can recruit a lord here, which would improve your ability to come down through this area and take out the swamp town. So, but the other cool thing is we can take a look at our technology. You can get marauder units, which is a good way to go. You can get natural selection. This is going to give improvements for most monsters. Okay, this one up here is for those as well. And then this one is going to be for like the Norscan monster units like the war mammoths, etc. We also have campaign line of sight increase, campaign movement range increase, and line of sight increase. And then you can unlock these later on if you get certain battle amounts. So I would definitely say campaign movement is going to be key. And then you could go for this later on to get really powerful mammoths.
Our knowledge or our masters?
Okay, so when we took a look at the map here, we also own a little piece of this province. Now, the cool thing about Wulfrik is he starts as a Norscan raider, and he has multiple places where he can create his lords. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a second lord over here. We can create a sorcerer, okay, or we can have a marauder chieftain. I usually go for the sorcerers, especially Lore of Death, because they do a lot of damage. This one gives plus leadership, and it says this guy gives hero defense chance. Let's go with that.
Great shame, sorcerer.
Okay, so then we're gonna recruit. Bam. That will be good because we can defend against this guy over here. And then if you basically take him out, you can confederate all of his tribe. And same with this. Now, this is where there's a lot of chaos, so I would not go down here right now. Now, the other thing we can do is we can recruit another lord right next to Wulfrik, since he is not a shaman. but we have a shaman, so you can either go for increased attack. Sometimes you'll get guys in here that will improve your campaign bonuses. So let's take a look. Nope. So what we're gonna go for, yeah, I think we're gonna get a chieftain here.
Northman come.
And we'll just run him.
Who wants to join me?
Now with Wulfrik, actually, what we'll do is we'll...
Great shaman, sorcerer.
get this guy here. Because we're not going to keep Wulfrik there.
Champions fall. Speak.
And then next turn,
Overrun
what
the
we can
world.
do is we can run these guys over here. Or you can take Wulfrik and go try to claim this mysterious island, which could be a battle. Now for diplomacy, quick deals, we can sometimes get a non-aggression pact with the Chaos, which isn't a terrible idea, considering the Shadow Legion is going to be right in here, and that's going to be one of your worst enemies. Okay, but that's about all you can do for diplomacy on your first turn. And from here, what we're going to do is basically hire some mercenaries for our next turn. So what I would say is I like the ogre bowls with the dual weapons, but you're going to grab one of each.
Brave sons of Norsca.
Eventually you want to grab these regiment and run out because they're very powerful. Alright guys, so that's it for turn 1. Hope you guys enjoyed. Titan Prime out.
Subscribe and prove yourself worthy of the hunt.